Plenty of drama over the weekend, and the FKF Sportpesa League certainly delivered. Let's not waste time and dive straight into the headline, roundup, and the results, surprises, and standout performances right here. This is the Pitchside Pulse, and we are live in the heart of 047. Kama kawaida, I have my two usual suspects. You'll introduce yourself so that we get into the drama very fast. On my left,
good evening, everyone. Good evening, Pitchside fans. My name, as always, is Siki Adonis, and we are going to really have a good time today and talk about the KPL, what happened over the weekend, what's coming up, and also, our girls did us proud when it comes to the World Cup qualifiers in under 20 June. Keep it locked. Pitchside Pulse.
very nice. Thank you.
Mambo vipi wadao? Here is your girl, Adisa Sharon, ama ukipenda niite Malkia wa Sporty. We have a lot for you, and this is Pitchside Pass. Of course, it's a football banter. Uda kuzote will be giving you.
Thank you very much, and I'm your host, Isaac Nyangai. Ukipenda utaniita Noah Isaac, and I'll go straight into the actions where we had match day 2, and on match day 2 we had a lot of matches that came up, and we had a lot of drama. Like I said, we had a lot of shows that came up, and very interesting that we had KCB lose to Madare. We had Posta Rangers beat Tusker. That is Pamzo against Jojo Kere. We had Mara Sugar drawing with the Homeboys. We had Sofapaka losing to Gor Mahia. We had APS Mobet, yet losing again to Muranga Seals, and Bandari lost to Shabana. We talked about Shabana last weekend, and last Thursday, and Shabana did not disappoint. Adisa Ntanzana wewe, you attended most of these matches. You have a lot of information for us on this. Please just wrap this very fast for us on these matches on the match day 2.
We had a lot of games being played, and of course tuliona kuna teams ambazo zilikuwa zinabwagwa, nasema kushenyetwa, zilipigwa kabisa. And of course we saw Shabana, who are topping the table right now. They said that they are in the title race and they're not hawachili anytime sooner. And we also saw that KCB played Madare United, Kakamega Homeboys, Gor Mahia, they played, and we saw a player scoring a brace. Is it the right thing to say? Ebenezer, he did an amazing thing. So during the weekend, the Sportpesa League is going on very well, but we have a problem in terms of scoring. Tunaona teams club ina score bao moja and they relax. Wako na ile pressure ya they don't want to team ingine iwapige, the pressure that is going on. But moving forward, we are expecting a lot, from the players and the clubs.
Very well. I think before we decide to pick on the specific match highlights and what came up on match day 2, CK, what is your wrap up for the matches that were played on the match day 2?
For me, match day 2 came in as the way I had expected, only that we had a lot of scoreless draws coming in, and we've said it several times that the sweetness of the game, what fans go to the stadium in, it's because they want to see goals. But you see, only 3 teams managed to score 2 goals. Sure. The rest of the teams were scoring 1-0, or they were tying up at 0-0 scoreline. But it was a match that lived up to the billing to the clubs that I expected. You see, I predicted that Shabana would go to Baraki, and it will be an interesting match, and that lived up to the billing. Again, I saw Gor Mahia now fighting back, bearing in mind that they had played a very shoddy match during match day 1 and they struggled. But on the second match of the season, they really played well. They had a couple of chances created, Austin going on to miss a penalty, but still Ebenezer Adokwa doing what he's supposed to do, came to Gor Mahia from Ghana, and he was showing us that is a worth import into our league.
Sure.
And also the other match that caught me by surprise, though not with the surprise, was the Tusker and the Tusker match that they lost to again Poster. Was it Poster?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they lost to Costa Rangers 2-1.
Sami Pamzo is really doing some good job at Poster, and I'm really scared for Tusker. It's now 3 matches played, only one point and 1 goal scored. They lost 2-0 to KCB the first match. They lost again to Pamzo, and then they scored only 1 goal on that particular day. So it tells you that there is a lot of things that Tusker need to turn around if they feel that they will be title contenders.
All right, thank you very much. I think we're talking about the title contenders. Disa, what do you think? Is it, do we have to rule Tusker out of the Sportpesa League already, or it's too early? Because from the statistics, actually they have now played these 3 games or so, but they have just gotten 1 point.
Yes.
Do we rule them out already? And what is the impact of the departure of Ryan Ogam from Tusker? They're not scoring goals. But in as much as they're not scoring goals, they're conceding goals. They were just beaten by Posta Rangers. They just have 1 draw. What's happening at Tusker?
Since kitu ambacho kinafanyika saizi, we are trying to see that maybe Ryan Ogam had an impact akiwa pale Tusker.
He did.
He had a very big impact. And right now, when they played with Post Rangers, I remember back in 2024, Tusker, they won 3 goals. They cooked Posta Rangers. And then in June 2024 again, they won. I don't know what happened during the last match, but I feel like maybe it's too early for them to be deducted out. But again, they have to put in more effort. But otherwise, they're going to be relegated.
They have to put in more effort, and Jojo Kerry goes out to you, coach. Lazima ufanye mambo yako. You have to come up and put your charges in place, so that we do not want to see Tusker going down. And CK, umetangulia mbele yangu kidogo, ulikuwa unataka kuongelea hiyo mechi ya, kwa nataka uniongelee mechi ya Shabana na Bandari kidogo, pia ushaniambia hiyo mambo. Alafu kulikuwa na hiyo mpira tena ya Gor Mahia. Gor Mahia is back and everything. We talked about that. Adisa, Shabana are on top of the league.
Yes.
Wako on top of the league. Na mimi nauliza aje, just like I said about Tusker earlier on, is it already giving us a signal that Shabana ni title contenders already saizi, ama bado ni premature?
Shabana ukiangalia the effort is there actually, and tunaweza wapatia the full, hatuwezi sema watashikilia ligi the whole of the season, lakini ukiangalia effort ambayo wanaweka,
make statement already.
Make statement.
And most likely Jojo Kidi anajua kitu yenye anafanya.
Yes.
Na watafika hapa hivi mbele. Patetu CK Mike, kuna kitu nataka anijibu saizi. I'm not going to ask you about Shabana, or I'm not going to ask Gor Mahia. Kuna hawa newbies wanaitwa APS. APS Bomet, I think they got their home ground pale Southern Rift, Kericho Stadium. And
Kericho Stadium.
And that does not mean that it is going to be a cure to the losses that they have. Hii ni baptism by fire ama ni nini inafanyika hapa hivi kwa APS? But because they were a good side, they played so well in the second division NSL. They did well. Yeah. What is happening with them right after they have come up in the top side league?
You see, pre-seasons, and actually when a team gets promoted, there are things that shape you up to the new season. Mm-hmm. So if you saw their pre-season, they weren't not that blazing so much. Mm-hmm. And it's just a reflection of how their season started. Maybe I'll give them time, because now they are newbies. The league is new. You have to come with full experience, so that you can get to know which side you can tackle, which approach you can have in different matches, and also feel that maybe they needed a gaffer who's more experienced in the top flight compared to NSL. You see, it's a different level. It's not the NSL.
Because I do remember the same thing happened with Shabana last season. Wamekuja wakagamble na makoch, Pamzo alienda pale, nani akajaribu. But when they settled, walipata their rhythm. The same thing ilifanyika na Police. Walikuwa wamegamble wakaleta coach nani, but they settled on somebody who is more experienced and had knowledge and would be able to manage like the whole squad. Walikuja wakastabilize. Is that what you really think that the APS Bomet need right now?
Yeah, they need to understand that these are now another different level. You need a gaffer that understands how to play in the top flight. You need also some recruitment that are players who have the experience of playing in the top flight. Not to rule out that the other players who were promoted with the team, but again, you need some more of experience, some more of know-how, so that you can now know how to tackle and defend the league. What I'm seeing them doing, they are having a home match this weekend at their home ground. That could be an advantage also. You also need a backing from your fans.
True.
You need to know how to take advantage of your
Na venye
home
nasema kanaga
matches.
huko hivyo wanaona ni kama ninyo fans wa IPS Bomet wanakuwa kwa wengi and
Yeah,
the,
true.
and I think the buying from the great resurgence
Yeah.
of what is it called? The Shabana
Yeah,
fans.
true.
Yeah, and then there was I think I've just patia disa mai kuna tuko hili kumefanyika. I think juzi hapa katikati ya wiki maybe ni jana ama juzi kuna match day 3 yenye ilikuwa pale ninio Awendo Stadium. Kulikuwa na hiyo match ilikuwa imechezwa na boys na walikuwa wameenda away kwa Mara Sugar and na boys after their draw against hiyo team ya Uganda Neke Uganda and they went there and they did not disappoint. Na goli ilikuwa imepigwa pale na Ovelo Cheng. Adisa, what is your overview of that particular match? Just a quick wrap up of what happened kwa your stadium.
The match was good actually. The Nai boys being away, wakienda away kucheza kwa kina Mara Sugar, and we saw that Avelia, right?
Yeah, Ovelo Cheng.
Ovelo Cheng, he scored an amazing goal. Hata niliona celebration ilikuwa tamu sana.
Yeye upigaga goal na naonyesha venye
Kabisa niliona fana akiuliza sasa ukivunjika shingo jamani na game ijaisha tutambia nini watu.
hiyo ni mambo yangu tulikuwa tumezoea kitambo lakini hala.
And I saw people were asking the boy, he was at FC.
Yeah, Ovelo alikuwa ametoka FC Leopards.
Yeah, so when he scored for Nai boys, people were asking, tulikuwa tunafikiria ako FC, right? But he's doing good. Unajua season ndio imeanza. We are expecting a lot from him actually, since he's a brilliant player.
He's a very good player.
He's a
Mchezaji
very
South
good
Africa.
player, yes. Akiwa ametu represent internationally, meaning he will be giving more feedback as the season continues. And by the way, tunasema kwamba our players, they need to put in a lot of effort. Tukiangalia from all the clubs ambazo zina participate as Sportpesa League 2025-2026, we need our players to put in a lot of effort. We need goals.
We need the best out of them.
Acha tukuwe na player ambaye ana score hat-trick, brace, ukiangalia players wengi, they really need to deliver. That is my message to them. They really need to deliver. Yes.
Very well. I think that's great. Nataka tu swali moja. I think speaking of us expecting too much from the boys, there is an incident that happened. I think that is post match. I think we ran into that on social media. Kuna story kumefanyika pale.
Yes.
Ovelo Cheng alikuwa na a little bit of altercation.
Yes.
Online altercation with some journalists.
Yes.
Of course, I would not just say that those are your kawaida fans on social media, but those are journalists when you wame mention something about it and then he took them head on. I think in 30 seconds, just give me, what is your opinion about that altercation and what was it about? And I also heard that it was something that was resolved. Ovelo Cheng alikuwa amekuja akasema he apologized about that. Just a quick one before I move on to the next segment.
It's like when it comes to accreditation and photojournalism, kuna kwaga na zile laws and ethics.
Yes.
I think our players need to understand our laws and ethics when it comes to photojournalism. And when it comes to something ambayo iko public,
Yes.
a photojournalist has a right to take your picture regardless of what you're doing, right?
So it is not about image protection.
Exactly. Unajua ukiwa ile private, it makes a lot of sense, but when it is public, hata ukiangalia the constitution, it says that ako na right ya kuchukua picha. Now Ochieng, when you check the journalist, he said that give the accreditation, credit that person, but he said that alikuwa na mambo mengi of which ameweza kuapologize leo.
That is the most interesting part that I really wanted. And Ovelo Cheng, that is what professionalism is all about. Nipatie CK Mike, kuna kitu nataka kumuuliza CK. You talked about Gor Mahia, umeongea kuhusu making the statement. Nataka tu kujua kutoka kwako that Gor Mahia came back na kulikuwa na mali fulani tena kwa social media niliona kama fans walikuwa wamekuja wanafanya interview, post match interview pale. Kwa hiyo interaction wakasema aje that coach, kuna players walikuwa wamenunuliwa na players walikuwa wamenunuliwa ni Brian, kuna players walikuwa wamenunuliwa kina Kibwagi, kuna Siraj, kuna players walikuwa wamenunuliwa Bandi, kuna players wenye walikuwa wamenunuliwa Fiti. Mbona unaweka kwa bench? Then the second match alikuwa kawachezesha hao players wenye walikuwa and through the results came.
Yeah.
Is it about the coach not being consistent with this tactical approach? Ama coach kuna venye bado anajaribu. Give us an overview of why you think Gor Mahia bounced back and possibly your tactical approach ilikuwa ni nini. And then also while at it, I want you to tell me of what is the impact of Mike Kibwage in the team, not just on the technical and the tactical approach, but also on the leadership role that he brings into the Green Army team.
No, you remember me telling you last week that I think it's normal for every coach that has not gone with these players into a preseason not to actually select those players when the first match of the season starts. It's because you've not known this crew, you've not worked with them for a long time. You remember most of the Gor Mahia star players were the ones who featured in Chan. So him not going with them in the preseason could be one of the main reasons as to why he didn't want to throw him in the first match of the season. What he did is he started with the players that he'd gone with the preseason, he'd trained with, he'd seen how those players are playing, know their weakness. So another thing that I feel that actually came out and really helped Gor Mahia to bounce back. You know Gor Mahia. They say Gor Mahia is a movement, and bearing in mind that the team itself knows, the fans already had started talking that we want this and this to happen. And in Gor Mahia, you only have a couple of matches before you start delivering, or we can do a marathon with you. So that
you guys are always ready.
It's Gor Mahia. It's the culture in Gor Mahia.
CK, tell me, and the tactical approach. Yani game ilikuwa imepangwaje? Is it the formation or is it the mentality of the players, or how does it go? Kwa hiyo match ya Gor Mahia. You want to understand, the fans need to understand the little nitty-gritties za hiyo team isikwage tu ati ni bahati. We're not doing that. We want you to give us that tactical approach. Yani coach alipanga nini, and everything that would possibly come when they're right inside the pitch.
You see, first thing I normally say, for you to win a match, you have to make sure that you're not conceding goals. Brian Omondi Bayo was brought in. Kibwage being there with the armband. And then you have Aduko on the other side. And you saw how those players played with the experience. And everyone was with the anger to make sure that they proved people wrong. They proved the doubters wrong. And that actually gave in. Because from what I was seeing is there was now the competition that we've been craving for in Gor Mahia. And also the mentality. You won't rule out the fact that the fans themselves and the players and the coach knew very well that if we don't get a result today, then we are going to be in hot soup. Remember, Shabana have already won 2 matches. They are at 6 points. And there's a very big chance that they are going to be one of the best teams to contend with this particular season. So the earlier the players start winning the matches and the team starts gelling, the better for the club. And that's why you saw whatever happened on that particular Saturday.
And we're speaking about leadership, and I think leadership is what really helps us to define what we really need in football. Adisa, over the weekend kulikuwa na mpira mmoja wazimu sana, and I'm very sure that you attended the match pale Ulinzi Complex, na kuna goals, kuna glory, kuna the next generation, the rising starlets.
Exactly.
Those girls are amazing. Wameingia third round pale, walienda pale Ulinzi Complex, and they did so well. So while the men battled it on the league, the spotlights, the rising starlets, they showed us that they are as good as we have actually expected them. Let's turn our attention to this World Cup qualifier against Ethiopia, and you tell me what are your insights on that particular match. And being that you are a sports journalist and you went into the stadium and you watched the match, nataka to break it down that ni nini ilifanyika vizuri, ama kama pia unataka kusema kama ilikuwa ni God maze, pia tusikie ni God maze. But still, I want you to tell us what happened positively for the rising starlets, the under 20 women team.
What happened positively is the goals, the scoring. Mimi niliwatch your game 90 minutes kuanzia venye waliingia field mpaka everything, you know. And the energy was there, the passion was there. Nikiangalia defending yao, attacking, and nikiangalia their midfield, wasichana wanafanya vizuri. And actually they managed to score amazing goals. Tuliona they have their captain Fasila, right? And they were doing amazing. Unaona kuna mchezaji pale anaitwa Bideva ambaye
ile goli ya Fasila.
Exactly. Uliona goli ya captain. Hiyo ni goli imeenda shule, right?
Hakuna kubatisha pale.
Exactly. Na pia ukiangalia Mideva Mideva aliscore away na pia akascore home.
And this is exactly that leadership that we're trying to talk about.
The leadership. Exactly. Na tukiangalia hao wasichana where they're going, and I love their leadership kwa sababu they have the support. We said when their players have the support, they will deliver. They are doing amazing because of the support they have. The management ya Harambee Starlets iko sawa kabisa, their coach, ukiangalia wale ambao wana the set pieces, everything technically, clinically, the girls. Nikiangalia hiyo game pia, game ilikuwa nzuri, and wameweza qualify WAFCON. Umeangalia squad imetoka about 38 from
hiyo kocha hiyo team ya
exactly from different clubs, unaona.
Yes.
Na pia watakuwa na game, wameweza kuqualify, watakuwa na game this October 23rd na 27th, home and away, right? So we are expecting a lot from them,
and I'm thinking that that is going to build a very good foundation. If you look at most of the successes, the teams like the teams that you have, Germany tried that, Spain tried that, and also you what I'm trying to say is that they build a team from the scratches. Yani watoto wadogo wanacheza wakipanda juu so that when they reach a particular level they're gelling together. CK, do you see that this team that is the Rising Starlights under 20 ni team yenye inaweza kuwa ibaki tu hivyo consistently venye Adisa anasema, ibaki tu consistently so that when it reaches a particular level washajuana yani kabisa that this is how we play, they can synchronize with each other, they have just that what would I call it, the football telepathy, yani wanajua how each other play. Should we have to retain this team to the last drop ama kuna venye in between zinaweza kuja?
No, I totally agree with you. You see, for any footballing powerhouse, Africa, across the world, the ones that we know, they already started while they are young. There was a golden generation. The same thing happened with the Hurricane in England. The same thing happened with Spain, with Barcelona. You remember from the time
even
where
the Spain that is
currently,
the national team.
Currently dominating.
There was that Germany 2010 in South Africa.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it starts with how these people have played together when they are still young. Even Belgium, the likes of Kevin De Bruyne and Lukaku.
Yes,
golden generation, right. You have to be patient with it. They say you have to walk through fire so that you can get what you want. If you want to build a very strong powerhouse in football, start through a very young squad. And I can say it's the only team that has actually gone to the World Cup from Kenya. Yeah. So it tells you if these people are kept together for a certain period of time, give it 5, 6, or even 7 years, you're going to have a very formidable squad that will be a force to reckon with in Africa and across the globe.
Adisa, the goal of the match, najua unaenda kusema nini yo goal of the week, najua utapeleka shift yako kwa hiyo under 20 game, and please just tell me, still focusing on that under 20 game, was that really the goal of the week, and who was your standout player kwa hiyo under 20 game yenye tulikuwa mechezwa pale Ulinzi Complex?
Focusing on the goal of the week, my standout player is Mideva. Scoring home and away is an amazing thing. Na nadhani kwamba kuna huaga na zile awards the best players. She deserves to be given. Alafu pia amezungumzia kitu about blending. Unajua the more players wanakaa pamoja na wakigrow pamoja, kunakuwa na ile blending. Wakiweka pamoja kikosi kinazoeana such that they're ready to face each and every game regardless of the situation. Ukiangalia wale wasichana wa Ethiopia walitufeel wale wasichana walitufeel kabisa. And you know, if the Harambee Starlets wangepewa more time, they could have scored more goals. Mimi nilikuwa nimesema hiyo game ikisha tuna score 5. I had ilikuwa sure bet it's 5.
And by the way, that surety ndio mimi utakaga kujua, yani fans walk into the stadium wanajua wana expect a lot of goals. CK, sorry Adisa, nataka kucut short tupatie CK Mike. Shifting from the under 20 match, who is your standout player for this match day 2, and probably is there a goal that you would want to reckon on apart from ile nyingine yenye tulikuwa tumesema? Besides that, of course, I think we are able to mash up match day 2 and match day 3 partly because some of them were played as late as yesterday. Yes. So pengine just give me what is that standout player? Possibly is there a goal that you'd want to make it stand out?
Thank you, Noir. Don't misquote me and say that I'm biased, but for me, the standout player of the week was Ebenezer. Adukwa. You see, this is a defender, and you can see he was able to score a brace. It's been a while since I last saw a defender in KPL do such. And also, you can look at the goal that he scored. That was around 40 meters away, 40 yards away, and it was a stunner. Already a title contender for the goal of the season for me. Yeah.
Niliona pale admin wa Gor Mahia alisema ati don't look any further, mwachane na hizo mambo zingine.
Tumemaliza.
Washapata.
Tumemaliza.
Asante. Very well, I think we're done with the match day 2. We are done with the under 20, and I want us to try and focus on the upcoming fixtures. There is matches that were played earlier. I think katikati ya wiki tulikuwa na game ya inaitwaje Bandari inaitwa nini? Hawa jamaa wanaitwa nini hawa Langata Road na South Sea? Ulinzi and Police, they played midweek. Yes. When was the last time there was ever a win in the police Ulinzi derby?
Has there ever been
inakuwa tu ni draw huku tu.
I can't remember the last time these people won. Any of the other side won a match. It's always been a draw, but it was one of the matches that I'd really love us to talk about, even if it was a scoreless draw. Polisi walikimbizwa. Polisi walikimbizwa. Ulinzi were blazing shots from any. The man of the match for that particular match should be the police goalkeeper, because he kept them in the match for 90 minutes. And though for me, I still feel we need goals.
Exactly, that is where I was headed, and I think that the bravado that Coach Nyauda alikuwa nayo kwa hiyo match, alikuwa he was so confident that police alikuwa anaenda kushinda, and then again it didn't come. What does that mean? What is it that you're supposed to do so that to part easy goals? Because it's not forthcoming. We're not going to bring back Ryan Oga. We're not going to ask all those good players. We're not going to give Dennis Oliech to come back and score goals for us unless he is reincarnated. What is it that the coaches need to do so that we can get flame this time? Kwa sababu hii reservedness kidogo mimi naona ni kama inatumiza fans. Tunaenda pale tunakaa tunapiga draw. Tena kesho nakaa because midweek hapa katikati kulikuwa na matches ine ziko zimepigwa, I think 2 draw 0-0 draws, alafu kuna 1-0 na 1-0.
Yeah. I think what we need to do right now it's let's go back to the structures. I think you are not developing more strikers. We are more focused on the midfielders and defenders. Yes. We need to go back to the academies and start teaching them. They say you teach them young. The moment you start teaching them young, it will be easy for us to get the next Dennis Oliech.
And it starts right from you, because I don't remember, unless I'm mistaken, I don't remember your Gor Mahia coach having played the assigned on striker Felix.
Yeah. They've not signed, and that's why we didn't have goals on the first match of the season. But on the second match of the season, the goals are coming, but they're not coming from the striker. Also,
goals zinatoka tena nyuma
kwa defenders. So my outcry and still is, and then let coaches start playing matches that are progressive matches. We should run away from the Mourinho style defending. You can't defend something that you've not scored. Score 2-3 goals, now defend the second half. We can also twist our tactical approach into matches. We can also try exploiting different ways of penetrating to the opponents' defend, and make sure that we go back to the grassroots and develop these strikers when they are still young. It will reap fruits in the future.
Very well. Adisa, nataka unipeleke hapa kwa hii match yenye inakuja hapa hivi mbele. Kuna hiyo Posta Rangers na FC Leopards. Kama kuna timu yenye Pamzo mpendaga kupiga. Ni team ya Eugene Agogo. Then there is a match there that is APS Bomet are going to play Police, and then there is the KCB versus Gor Mahia. Alafu kuna another big match. I call it big match because in all perspective it's a big match. That is Tusker versus Shabana. I want us to focus on those 4 matches, and you tell me what is the predicted score. What is the predicted score for these matches that are going to be played next? That is the Posta Rangers versus AFC Leopards. Adisa, una think nini enda kufanyika? Samuel Molo anaita AFC Leopards home, and you tell me, what do we expect in terms of goals and the tactical approach?
Nikijaribu kuzungumzia Bwana Ambani ambaye ameweza kuchukua tu FC juzi, I think he has a lot of pressure because unajua FC inacheza saisi kama ile ya kitambo.
Ile
Someone
kitambo
said
ilikuwa
that.
aje mwanzo? Nataka kuielewa. Ile
Ile ya
kitambo ya
kitambo, we used to-
1998.
Exactly.
Oh.
Unajua ile FC ya kitambo na ya saizi there's a big difference kwa sababu
Lakini bado wanavaa jezi za blue na white.
wanavaa jezi za blue. Shida ni kudeliver, you see. So it's going to be niseme a big match to the FC Leopards fans sababu wanatokeaga wengi na zile ngoma zao.
Alafu you know funny thing, sorry to catch you through. FC Leopards still are not the fans are still not getting away from the fact that they lost their best player to their immediate rivals.
Yes. And FC na Gor Mahia inakuwaga rivalry kubwa, meaning ukiangalia kwa Kenya Premier League, actually they always say that hizi ni games zenye the players should be scoring more goals. Sababu ndio wanashikilia, yani wanajua unajua league sababu ya hizi teams, and we are expecting, I can't really predict.
Please give me a number. I just like kupatia sike nipe number.
FC can be cooked. FC can be cooked. Wakikaribishwa kule they can be cooked honestly.
Pamzo anaweza
Agogo anafaa kuwe ready kwa sababu ya yeye. They can be cooked. Na nadhani kwamba bwana Ambari they can be cooked.
Eugene Agogo umepatiwa hiyo challenge. Mnaenda kupikwa na Samimolo Pamzo.
Yes.
CK, just pick the mic and tell me that what do you expect about the match that is coming up next between the APS Bomet and Police? That match is going to be played for the first time in the Kericho Greentown in the southern in the Southern Rift. What is your prediction on that match? Considering that APS Bomet wamepigwa, tumekuwa tukiongelea story. Alafu Police are coming from a draw and also walishapigwa na Mogadishu City.
Yeah. Walipigwa Mogadishu City. Walipigwa na Mogadishu
the last match. In fact their home match. Ndio walikuwa wamepigwa 2-0, which means that they yet to get a win in their last two matches. Please tell me, what do they expect when they go to Kericho in the next match?
First of all, this is going to be a big match in Kericho. South Rift, this is going to be a big match. Bearing in mind now, AP Bomet will be playing at home.
Yes.
And you remember their fan base. You've seen their fan base in the NSL last season. It was very crazy. So with the home backing of AP Bomet and bearing in mind Police are still struggling right now this season, they're not going to win that match, unfortunately. Not unless something else comes. But for me, the worst that could happen for AP Bomet could be a 1-0 scoreline. But my prediction will be AP Bomet to win 1-0 or better still, a barren draw, 0-0. The two teams are not scoring goals currently. Yes.
Thank you very much. Adisa, chukua hiyo mic alafu niende tu speedy uniambie kwa hiyo match ya KCB versus Gor Mahia. Let's go to the little history about KCB. KCB inakuwa managed na one of the oldest yani vintage. It gets better with age. Vintage coaches wa Ma5. He did well, and I think I remember the other day nimekuwa nikiwatch your video ya karaoke. He spoke again and was very confident that the kind of inspiration that Coach Matano gives makes him want to play more. And then Gor Mahia pia iko pale, Sika alikuwa ametubreakia down, the tactical approach, the leadership that is there. KCB versus Gor Mahia. Your quick take and tell me, what is the predicted score?
KCB versus Gor Mahia. Gor Mahia can be cooked. Remember KCB, Tyron is back. Alizungumza juzi akisema he's so much ready for the league. Meaning Gor Mahia, they really need to put more much effort. Imanishi when they scored 2 goals last game, this is going to be easy for them. Definitely they have to put a lot of effort in the upcoming. Niliwatch game ya KCB wakicheza juzi na si wachache pia. Si wachache. So Gor Mahia, they need to take care about this.
Give me numbers.
Numbers 1-0.
1-0 in favor of KCB.
Yes.
Coach Matano anaenda kupiga KCB, even though venye Sharon Adisa anatuambia. CK, just grab the mic very fast. Don't talk about KCB and Gor Mahia kwa sababu unajua ukianza sasa hizi.
Allow me. I won't really focus on Gor Mahia, but I've seen what Humphrey Mieno is doing right now at KCB. His leadership, there was a reason as to why Matano brought him to KCB. And also I'll touch about our own son, Omondi.
Boniface.
They are coming up with them. Yes, there could be an upset. Yes. But
so you want to give me a predicted score?
No, I can't give you a predicted score because you know my prediction will go.
All right, let's go to the other big game, that is Tusker versus Shabana. Hiyo match itakuwa inachezwa Nairobi, if I'm not mistaken. Tusker want to prove a point. Coach Jojo Okere want to prove a point. Okidi pia ako pale na good run. Brian Mishira scored 2 consecutive goals.
Yeah.
Is he going to continue ama nini inaenda kufanyika kwa hiyo match ya Tusker na Shabana?
Unfortunately, what I'm going to say about this one, Noir, is that having watched Tusker play their last 3 matches, they've only scored 1 goal. Having watched Shabana play 2 matches, they've scored 5 goals. So they are basically averaging 2.5 goals per game. Remember, the same Tusker that you're talking about have conceded, I think it's 4 goals, because they lost to KCB in the first match, and then they lost to also Pamzo, and then again and then on the midweek they lost again. So their defense is really leaking, and with the fire force of Mishira Migiro and Odongo at Shabana, and the fan backing of Shabana, I'm giving Shabana a 2-1 scoreline.
Unaona ni kama uhatarishi job ya Okere?
Okere can't bounce back, unfortunately. They can't bounce, not on this one. Maybe if they were playing, maybe if they come up against FC is when they can rise. You know, it's just another
that thing. Is not one conversation that I want to start having now, because I really care a lot about my piece. FC Leopards, that is on you. Angalia Adisa, kuna hii match hapo nataka tu focus on kidogo, hiyo match ya Bandari na Murang'a Seals. Bandari na Murang'a Seals ni match itakuwa inachezwa pale
Sebastian.
Is it in Sebastian ama ni Mbaraki? I think
it's Mbaraki.
It's in Mbaraki, yeah?
Because Bandari will be at home.
Nani alifukuzwa job? Si ndio?
Yeah.
Alichujwa Polo dia.
Come on.
Uko na fitina sana jamaa. Odhiambo alifukuzwa job, and then Baraza ametake over. Baraza was a very good striker zile nzi zetu, na hiyo kushoto yake mashallah alikuwa anapiga goal. He's now the one who is taking charge of Bandari. Adisa, Sharon, unafikiria aje kama Bandari, are they going to steady the ship when they play their match against Murang'a Seals, considering Murang'a Seals just won their last match? And I think Murang'a Seals pia walisign, they stabilized.
Not really bad. They had some couple of signings this season.
Tell me, what do you think about that match? Bandari versus Murang'a Seals.
Bandari should be careful kwa sababu ukiangalia Murang'a Seals wamefanya signings, meaning they are more stronger than before. And we just said that our players or our strikers, they need to put so much effort in terms of scoring. Right, so they should be careful.
They should be careful.
Yes.
Maybe you would not want to give us the exact numbers.
No, it's gonna be a tough game actually.
But you really hope that Bandari can come out with a point to get the lifeline.
Yes, but Murang'a Seals pia, damn.
Yeah. Hebu niambie kitu moja CK,
maybe just to touch on one thing that I feel it's ailing Bandari this season. You know, they've had a lot of exits.
Yes.
Siraj, Gor Mahia. Brian Omondi, Gor Mahia. Farouk Shikalo, St. George, Ethiopia. So it means that it's reflecting they've had a lot of exits, and I don't think they did their recruitment well. In as much as Boulder Supermarket is gone, but you don't know if they really replace that those players that left the club.
But you can be so sure that Bandari, being a team that has stayed on top for a very long time, they can always have a lifeline.
I always compare Bandari to Sofapaka. When you think they are going down, they'll always find a way of making their season turn and their season around.
There is a slum derby. Just give me numbers. Madari United versus Kariobangi Sharks. What do you think? Just give in terms of numbers. Is it another 2-1 draw?
2-1 for Madari.
2-1 for Madari.
They are on a resurgence, and they're really playing this season.
Alafu unataka nini kabla uende Sharon, as we will be closing up, and unataka uniambie what is the next focus that you're going to have for the Rising Stars, Let's ngoja kwanza. When unataka uniambie what is the focus now in the Rising Stars, where are we headed next, and then you'll be able to tell us about that. Lakini kwanza niambie CK, kuna hiyo match yenye nataka unipatie full prediction of what is expected as far as Bidco United versus Nairobi United, being that Bidco
had beaten Gor Mahia on the
wamepiga Gor Mahia, alafu Nairobi United through Ovela Ochieng walienda huko hivyo waenda, alafu wakapata point yao. What do you think?
The two clubs, there's something about Nairobi City Stars that is happening this season that
not Nairobi City Stars.
Nairobi
United
that I don't see with these other clubs that have been promoted. You see, this is a team that already recruited preparing for the continental football.
Yes,
and
yes,
that's why
yes,
they
yes,
brought
yes.
in Manzuro Kwara.
Uh-huh.
They brought in Ovela, and they brought in a very good gaffer in Manoa. So it's experience plus people who are really angry to prove themselves on the continent. And it's reflecting 3 matches, 3 wins. So if they're going to continue the same way, Bidco didn't beat Gor Mahia because Gor Mahia was poor. It was just that it was a bad day in office for Gor Mahia, and it was actually a penalty. But they say a win is a win.
A win
It
is a
doesn't matter. And having seen Bidco play and having seen the same Nairobi United play, I'm tipping Nairobi United to beat Bidco either 1-0 or 2-0.
Okay.
Yep.
Alright, very well. Sharon, tunamalizia we niambie kwa hizi match za the Rising Starlets. I think after having that aggregate of 5-1 win against Ethiopia, the Starlets wako na some matches in the third round na wanafaa kucheza na a few teams. You just tell us, what is it that we expect from these Rising Starlets na is there anything that Coach Jack Mibima ana line up to add to this team, and what is she purposing to do so that these young ones watazidi kutupatia raha? I mean, match day in, match day out.
Harambee Starlets, they will be facing Tanzania first next year, February, in their final round. And when it comes to their coach, I think unaona hiyo squad ameblend asiweze kuleta ile utofauti, yani kuwatenganisha. Unaona kama ameanzisha first 11, wacha wakuje wa deliver the same way walicheza the last game. Alafu pia this weekend watakuwa wanaingia kambi, meaning their kickoff for the final round of WAFCON against Gambia will be starting as soon as possible, meaning wanaingia training, having the full support, they will deliver. Tumejua kwamba Harambee Starlets upande wa WAFCON, they have been doing amazing, right? Na we wish them all the very best. Kikosi kishatoka around 38 members. But ukiangalia goalkeepers, midfielders, wote wako pale, meaning they will definitely deliver.
All right. Thank you very much. I think much of that has been said, and we are very glad that we have had to get on this show. But just I want you to give me your parting shots. Maybe nikianza na wewe, Sharon. What is your parting shot on this particular show? Because I think it's actually a wrap. What is your parting shot for this particular show, in line with what we are expecting in the Premier League, what we're expecting for the continental matches to come, and also for the international matches?
My message goes to APS Bomet. Ukiangalia last game, they had a lot of chances in terms of set pieces. Unajua hizo set pieces, they really help. Corners. Hizo corners zinasaidiaga sana. Tumeona hata EPL zinasaidia hiyo team tunajua sana.
Hatutaki kuongelea hiyo team. Tunakuja kuharibu mambo mingi.
Yes.
Tunakuja kuharibu mambo mingi sana.
Yes.
What do you think? Unaona ni kama goals because kwa sababu nilikuwa naongelea hiyo story ya leo. Goals zikikataa. Tunalazimishe.
Hapana.
What is it that hiyo ni strategy ama nini?
Unajua kuna utamu fulani. They say a goal is a goal, a win is a win. We need to see these goals. The fans wakitoka nyumbani wakilipa hiyo ticket wakienda stadium, they need to see the goals. Wacha tukue na teams ambazo tumesikia Shabana wamescore 5 goals, 7 goals.
Shabana, wezi peana example
okay,
ingine.
Gor Mahia this weekend. Tusikie mefunga nani Ebeneza amescore a brace or a hat-trick. You know, it makes a lot of sense. Meaning to our players and to all the clubs, we want you to put in the effort and the energy. Fans wacha wakuwe na every reason. Alafu tusahau kwamba we have our partnership ama wale sponsors ambao wana sponsor the clubs, right? Ndio msimu umeanza and we have seen they are putting a lot of effort. Wacha waweze kuona results. Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Again, niwaambie final thing, right? So we'll continue to follow Pitchside Pulse for more information and updates. During the midweek, tutakuwa tuwapatia full information and data. My name is Adisa Sharon. Call me the Sports Queen. Yeah.
Very much. Sharon ameongelea story fulani about sponsorship. Amechukua tu kwa mdomo yangu. Police Sacco, Police FC wamepata sponsorship ya Cooperative Bank ya 25 million. Na timu yako, I think one of the biggest and the oldest team in the country, bado wamengangania tu. So ile SportPesa ita fold tu hivi, basi ni hivyo. Ni nini nafanyika that these corporates cannot come and, or ni nini some of these teams are doing right? Let me be optimistic.
You see, one thing you have to understand is that police are now playing continental football, CAF Champions League. I told you it's very simple when it comes to corporate, and corporate needs marketing.
Kwanza ngoja umenikumbusha. Kuna time fulani hapa hii timu yako. Every time unataka kwenda Morocco, unasikia ile inaitwa nini? Ogudu, watu wanachanga. Every time watu wanataka kwenda Continentals, Gor Mahia lazima usikie umeka pay bill. But this time I think police are giving as a reason to like do things differently. 25 million kutoka kwa cooperative bank, which I'm very sure have never sponsored a team in the Kenyan Premier League ever since. That is a statement already.
And Noiri, it's high time you stop saying your team yako. Call it, it's Gor Mahia. It's Gor Mahia, not your team yako. So one thing I've already said, you've apologized, you're forgiven. One thing I've always said is that corporate needs marketing. True. They need publicity. True. Corporate, bearing in mind that police are going to play Champions League. They'll definitely attract sponsors. And I've always repeated that package your content well. Yes. Bring fans into the stadium, and people will start coming into the stadium. Give them those goals, and even everyone will want to associate with themselves with you as a team. And I said we should take advantage of Chan. Chan gave us a platform to show that we have massive followers, we have attractive people who can come into the stadium, and we are not taking advantage of that. Clubs are not doing that. I want to challenge my team, my rival, FC Leopard. Stop losing matches this early. You'll discourage your fans from coming to the stadium. Win even one match. When you play over the weekend, get even one win. We want those fans back to the stadium. And my parting shot will be, let's continue following KPL. Let's continue promoting this content. This is the content that we have. The EPL didn't actually get to where it is today by not investing in their league. They invested in their league.
And the passion is there. Kuna kitu moja ambayo CK amezungumzia, which I think is very important. Mr. Producer, I think you will need to give me these insights when we have our show next Thursday. How do we get our fans back into the stadium? I think this is a conversation that we've had for a very long time. And I appreciate you very much, lady and gentlemen, for gracing this show. And to our fans, I apologize very much for the technical hitch that was there, and we might have taken a little long before the show started. We shall surely be starting our next episode Thursday next week on time. And thank you very much, my producer CK Doyo. Thank you very much, assistant producer Sharon Adisa, director CK Kevin Onyango, and cameraman Sirama Samuel, Ian Mushiri, and Mike. On the editing is Kevin Onyango. Thank you very much, fans, for staying with us. I've been your host, Isaac Nyangaya. If you will call me Noah Isaac. And until next Thursday, this is the Pitch Side Pals.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Tumemaliza. Nikimalizanga hii magoti na niuma.